Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Just Drew, a space where we talk about reinvention, renewal and life. Today I want to talk about the power of community. Community is a very important and vital thing that we really need to greatly take into consideration, given the way the world is moving at the moment. Everybody's individualistic and the individualism is moving into our society, but we are still developing as a society, so we can't develop individually as individuals in our own separate homes, in our own separate properties. We have to embrace community. There's no way the country and us as a people can move forward if we do not have community in the back of our minds as we go through our day, as we go through our lives, as we raise our children. Because what type of society would that bring? Community is a very powerful tool. And when I speak about it, I'm not speaking about community in the sense of a nyumba kumi kind of thing where we are watching our neighbors and spying on our neighbors or whatever nyumba kumi was supposed to be. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. But I'm talking about caring for spaces and places that everybody can use, not now, but in the future. Not only for ourselves, but for our children and for our children's children. Now, if we just look towards growth for the sake of growth, and it's only economic growth that we're looking at, we are going to put our society at risk. It will be at risk of not developing in the areas that it should also develop in when we talk about, for example, an environmental capacity, or in the way that safety for your children and safety for your homes and your areas and everything that entails to make a great life. Community can achieve a lot. Community, I think, is what enabled the country to go through what it was going through, though it was a very different type of community in the sense that it was a community that developed online. But in this sense, I'm also speaking about physical communities where you see people face to face and you discuss and you try and speak about how you can develop your society. Because without community, everybody will be left up to their own agenda as they think it fit to be, and we'll be left with this dystopian place that we really do not want to live in, or I really do not want to live in, let me say that. And community can do many things. It can be so tiny, it could be even for safety. It could be for safety in your particular area, it could be for safety of others, it could be for safety of your children. Let me say, the community you build today will make for a better tomorrow. So having an individualistic type of life can be good, but only up to a point. And the point actually where it will be stop being good is when you leave the door of your house and things are not going and flowing as they should. Right now, I really looking at the state of the society that we have, and it's concerning. I still like it. I still like being back home, but the state of society and the state, and I must say, a lot of this is not done, in a vacuum. Of course, everybody is operating based on whatever political actions are being put in the country. That being so, we need to still work on being together as a people, as a nation, as a city. And that togetherness is also what's going to make us grow and be better and develop better as a society. One example I would like to give in that regard is when we think about the environment. I'd already done a video about the state of Karura and how trees are being cut, and I got feedback that they're replanting, but there's also information that they're not replanting, but I don't know where it is, the status of everything right now. But one thing that has been done in terms of conserving the environment is that a few people where I live came together and they pooled to buy trees to plant. It was a fantastic initiative, I must say. And as much as we are still looking into what's happening to the forest and the forests around the nation, actually, which is quite concerning, as much as that is being looked into and we're getting feedback on it and people are interested in speaking on it, and speaking on the importance of preserving the forests that are already there, because these forests take a long time to become mature. Be that as it may, it's important to realize that through community, you can still be planting trees and developing your environment. Both things can go hand in hand. You can fight for what's there, and you can still develop empty areas to be something that can grow into a park or shade for the future. Let me say it that way, because that's what we're really concerned about, the climate and the state of the country in regards to what the felling of trees is going to do to society. So that's just one aspect of community, one tiny aspect. The trees were about 100 that were planted, and just because somebody had the great idea to plant those 100 trees, people are looking into even planting even more. And while this is happening, people are still fighting for the forests. And if we came together as community and planted trees in our respective areas while fighting everything that's going on, I think that would be a great step forward. Because there's a tendency to look at what's being done, but also we have to think about, so what are you doing to counter what's being done? And some of the things we find out that they've been done after the fact. Even if we stop the felling of trees and there are that are going to be replanted. Have you planted a tree? When was the last time you planted a tree? It's very easy to pick and poke at things that are happening, but if everybody's picking and poking and nobody is actually trying to counter what is being done, is a difficult place to be, I would think. And because in that case, yes, we're stopping what's happening with the trees, but we are not looking into preserving and growing the environment as we should. We're pointing a finger at trees that have already been felled, but let's look into actions that we can put into life to counter the things that are happening. Let's look into active ways forward to make sure that we preserve and we build and maintain a society that our children and our children's children can live in. Yes, activism is one part, but there's still more that can be done, and you do not have to do it alone. That's the whole point of this video. You do it with community, trying to find out, what can I do? How can I do it? With whom can I do it with? And really, that's all I thought about, because when you look at it as an individual, you just feel overwhelmed and you feel like complaining and all these things. But when you are a group, when you're a community and you're looking to preserve and to grow your environment, or whatever it may be, it doesn't even have to be environmental, it could be cultural, it could be economic, but doing things as a band, as a group, will put you way forward than doing one small thing alone or doing nothing. That's my video for today. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on this, and thanks for watching.